I'm joined here today by the one, the only North Carolina's own Jamie Pickett to take on Tafon Nchukwi coming up real soon in December. What's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good yourself.
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for asking. Sounds like you have a long drive ahead of you to Wilmington. Are you about to head there right this second?
Yeah.
And so, what's in Wilmington for you? Is that where you're doing your training camp specifically? I mean, what's kind of the plan look like for you?
It's my main gym. It's for PCSP training facility. It's where me and my teammates train at. I train in Raleigh as well, so I go from and I train in Rose Hill. So Wilmington is the farthest you can go East Coast, right?
Right.
It's like an hour from my house. And I live in Rose Hill. Then I have my kickboxing, my main coach, David Mejia, is right here in Rose Hill. I train with him Wednesdays and Fridays, and then I go to Raleigh Monday and Wednesdays as well to train at Embrace in Raleigh. But I train most of my times in Wilmington.
So when you say Wilmington, I think a lot of people, they realize that's home of UFC's one and only Derek Brunson. Do you do any training with him? Because I know he's near the area, or do you have you sounds like you have your very specific kind of training setup.
All right, so Derek used to train. Okay, so trying to make a long story short. So like Derek Brunson, he actually is the person that like recruited me. Really, he's the person that pretty much found me, and I was doing a lot of dumb things, and I was doing a lot of things wrong. And Derek is the one that kind of like, hey, that's stupid. You're doing it wrong. Come train with me, and I'll help you. So I kind of like went with Derek, trained with Derek. Derek, he grew me up, taught me a lot of stuff, and then he left our gym and went and opened up his own gym. So it's really Derek's gym. Derek is the one, first fighter at PCSP, but he went to the UFC, did good things, made some money, and he wanted to do his dream and start his own gym. So he started his own gym. He left, and I stayed. And a guy named John Salter is there. So John Salter started his program there, and I was with John Salter all the time. And Derek was kind of like going to different gyms, training.
Yeah.
So I felt like I wasn't getting. I would like. I knew he had to focus on his stuff. And John was more like trying to build a team around himself. So I just stayed with John and over here at PCSP. And Derek is like maybe 5 minutes from our gym. It's weird. He's like right there. But we don't train together. He trains, I think, in like Florida or something. I don't really know where he trains at.
And so, I mean, are you guys still cool with him, or is one of those situations where like everybody kind of grew apart over time?
Nah, I mean, I could never say I'm not cool with Derek. I mean, Derek's my mentor. He's my first mentor. He's nothing but love for Derek. He doesn't train with us, but he's my first mentor. So I can never say I have a problem with Derek. I don't think we have a problem unless he says we have one. I don't know. I don't know anything of us having a problem.
I guess it's better that way. When you say John Salter, is that Bellator's own John Salter, or is that just same name?
Yes, that's John Salter, Bellator, #1 middleweight at Bellator. He's my coach now. So.
And so what's he doing in North Carolina? I thought he was in, I believe it was Alabama or something like that.
He's from Alabama. Then he went to Tennessee, and I think he went to school in Tennessee. I can't remember. And I think his wife was from Tennessee, and he went to school in Tennessee. I can't remember how that goes.
Yeah.
But Salter is he trained in Tennessee, and then he went to California, him and his wife, and then they moved here. They contacted Derek because they were moving to Wilmington. They needed someone to train, and Derek invited them over to PCSP, and John made a home at PCSP, and we all used to train together. Me, Derek Brunson, John Salter. It was us three together, and then it's just me and John now. And we got Joe Selecki now. We got Joe Selecki.
Oh yeah.
Training with us. Yep. Got a lot of names coming out of our gym as well. We got Dontario Woods that's fighting this weekend. He's a good fighter. I think we look out for him. He's a 205er, and this kid has a lot of power. Relentless with his strikes. crazy takedown defense. I mean, Woods is going to be something if he keeps going. He fights November 7th in Alabama, and then got Joe Select, who's in the UFC, absolute animal, to have in your corner. And you got me, John Salter. So we got a pretty good team over there.
So the interesting thing with your career is, I believe before you got this last shot on the Contender Series, it seemed like maybe you were thinking about walking away from fighting. Obviously, things go well in the Contender Series, you get that contract. What was going on before that fight that sort of made you think like maybe you wanted to step away?
Just so many ups and downs, man. Stuff with my daughter, stuff with my family, stuff with, just life. And I was just thinking, like, I'm just not gonna, like, I'm just tired. I just feel like I'm just tired of just, like, I'm not gonna make it, I guess. I just don't think I'm gonna make it, probably. I just start to lose hope, I guess. And literally, that next morning, like, in the middle of the night, my manager calls me. Lamont Chappell calls me and was like, hey, we got an opportunity to fight in this Contender Series. He's my manager for about a year and a half now. LCA Promotions, LCA Management Group, Sports Management Group, and he's been doing a pretty good job. And he got me back on there. I told him, I was like, if I get back on there, I'll win it. I know I will, because I'll put all the work in that I need to. And the whole time I had good sponsors with me too, helping me get through everything. Clean Eats helps me a lot. Import Services. I have Cryo in Wilmington. They sponsor me as well. Wallace Cellular. Yeah, we got a bunch of people. I got a pretty good team helping me get through all the stuff I didn't get through, as far as financially, to help me get ready for the fight. Pathways of Life. So I was pretty much putting all my time in training. I wasn't doing anything else. Like, because all I did was just train. Like, every day, 4 times a day. Only time I didn't train was Sunday. And Sundays, I would go run for like 8 miles. So I just knew it didn't matter who they put in front of me, I was going to win the fight.
And so I think that's a sign of a good management team too, right? Where they kind of take control of everything, and all you have to do is just like show up when they tell you to, right? Like taking care of your interviews, your sponsors, even the fights and stuff like that. Like, it sounds like a sign of a good management team.
Yeah, they did a lot, man. They're just excellent, They just made sure everything was like right there in front of me. I didn't have to go scrambling around for things. Like, everything was just right there. Everything I needed taken care of, they took care of it. So LCA Sports Management Group is like, they made sure I had everything I needed. So I'm definitely happy with them,
And so you're going to be taking on in your first official UFC fight, Tafon Nchukwi. What was kind of your reaction when I guess your manager called you up and told you, that was the fight you'd be taking next?
I was just like, okay. Like, I'm like that with like everything. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I never, like, I don't even know who the guy is. Like, I don't know if putting a fact about me, I don't know if people know this. I know my teammates know. I don't look up fighters. I don't watch film on fighters. I just don't do it. I don't like it. It's like a head game. So I don't know what you're going to do. My coaches watch it, and they train me for what that person is going to do. They train me for what I'm going to do to that person. So I don't know. Like, Petty, I didn't know how he fought. I never seen him fight. Puna, never seen Puna fight either. So they just train me for a fight.
I think a lot of people and fighters especially would have anxiety hearing you say stuff like that, right? Because I know a lot of people that like to be super prepared. What's kind of your reason for that? Is it just like making sure you focus on yourself and you don't get too mentally worried about what your opponent is doing?
Right. It's to stay away from anxiety.
Right.
Because if I watch you knock somebody out with a right hand, like 5 fights straight, you just keep knocking people out with their right hand, right? And you're throwing it from different angles, just throwing this right hand, sledgehammer right hand. When I fight you, I'm gonna be worried about that right hand.
Right.
So I might even be so worried about that right hand that I don't engage when I need to engage. kind of like a preschooler mentality sense, like young gunning. Just I go in for the kill whenever I feel like. Whenever I feel I should go, I just go without no hesitation because I'm not thinking about what you're gonna do with that right hand. Not thinking about what I've seen. I just go on what I've been taught. But if I go in there thinking about you head kicking somebody, 3 head kicks, I might hesitate on what I've been taught. If I don't know about what you do, I have nothing to worry about. In my mind, I'm like, I'm just going to do what I've been taught to do, and I should win the fight. That's how I look at it. So I just don't watch film on fighters.
That's very interesting, and it sounds like a very smart thing too. Because I think some guys, they get in their own heads a lot. Like you mentioned, you keep seeing the right hand, so you're worried about it. Is this something you've done your whole career, or is that something you've learned to develop over time?
It's something I learned to develop over time, just because I would be like, damn, like you'd be worried about certain fighters. Like somebody I shouldn't even be worried about this guy. I'd be worried like, oh man, he's gonna choke, he's gonna throw me to the ground, choke me out, like just weird stuff. Like you just think when you're a fighter, man, you think about a bunch of stuff that could happen,
right?
Might happen, But when I stop watching film, I don't worry about this stuff no more. Like I'd be laughing in the back, joking around. Like I don't even think like my mind like losing ain't even something I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about, well, I'm gonna do this, So when I fought Puna, I had a torn hamstring, so I was like, shoot. The whole time I'm thinking, I'm gonna fight with this hamstring. I worry about the hamstring the whole time. So I kind of got in my own head. That's why I was like, I want to fight Puna again because I want to fight him with a clear mind. Not saying he's not good because Puna's really good. I like Puna, but this guy that I'm fighting now, I know nothing about him. I don't know. All that I know is that he's never fought at middleweight or something like that. So
yeah. So with that being said, though, it's your UFC debut. A lot of people that talk about the Octagon jitters. Sometimes it's before the fight. Sometimes it's when it goes into the later rounds. Is that something you've thought about at all? How you're going to deal with that, or is you just trying to deal with it like it's a normal fight?
No, I don't ever think about something like that. I just think all eyes on you. I mean, all eyes on me. Don't mess up. All eyes on you. I mean, my daughter is gonna watch this one day when she gets older, probably. Friends, family, my grandmother's watching, my mom's watching. So I'm like, I ain't trying to get knocked out.
Right. Yeah.
So I just worry about doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't think about jitters. Only jitters I have is jitters I give myself. So I don't know about that.
Right. One last question, and I'm sure it's a difficult one because, like you said, you don't watch tape and stuff like that. But realistically, how do you see yourself getting your hand raised in this fight?
I don't know because I don't know nothing about him.
Right.
I can't really say. I was.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, do I think I'm gonna win? For sure.
Well, hopefully you'd think that.
Yeah. I definitely like in my mind I know I'm gonna win, but because I know I'm gonna put in all the work I'm supposed to put in. But do I know I'm gonna win? No, I don't know. But hopefully it's something vicious. I want to put him away quickly and decisively. I want people to understand that I belong in the upper echelon of the middleweight contenders. I don't want to go in there and get a decision or split or majority. I don't want to do all that. I want to put somebody out. But I don't know how I'm gonna win. No, I just gonna go in there and be me. Hopefully, the man runs into something. That's how I look at it.
All right, well, there we go. Thanks so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to watching this fight. It's gonna be a great one.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.